Hey guys, how's it going? Michael Troy here. Welcome to Megaton Man Mondays, week 10. It is the final issue in the initial 10 issue series of Don Simpson's Megaton Man. But it is not the end of Megaton Man Mondays. Stick around till the end of the video to find out about that. So we are looking at Megaton Man number 10 today, the final issue of the first 10 issue series from Kitchen Sink and Don Simpson. Totally amazing book. Love it. It is a great issue. Way to end the series. Can't wait to share it with you. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Hit that like button and let's get right into it. Look at this gorgeous cover. I love a great headshot. Megaton Man is, pretty iconic looking and very distinguishable from his grotesque proportions and just fun, kooky Don Simpson art. I love that. And his, low-key Cyclops ripoff visor there. Don Simpson's signature. I love his signature. I love everything about the man. He is one of my favorite creators. This is such a great series. And I have to say, I guess I haven't thoroughly been reading the letters columns. So I'm wondering, why? Why was this canceled? It feels like it was canceled. It doesn't really feel like it was Don's choice. This cover, last issue, too late to begin collecting Megaton Man Forever on Patrol. This cute little penguin with a Megaton Man visor on. I mean, how gorgeous is this art? So here's a little roster of what is being published at the time by Kitchen Sink Press. The Spirit reprints by Will Eisner, Steve Canyon, Milton Caniff. Jungle Book by Harvey Kurtzman. That sounds pretty interesting. Contract with God in New York and More New Work by Will Eisner. Death Rattle, Mike Barron. What is this? An anthology, I guess. So this is kind of weird in a way. So I'm wondering, I guess maybe Megaton Man wasn't selling. Was it because he wanted to go to Border Worlds? I mean, if only I had some sort of access to Don Simpson and I could ask him these questions. Oh, I do. So I guess I will. Anyway, listen to this blurb. And this sounds like the worst. Well, let me read it first. Border Worlds by Don Simpson. You laughed at Megs, meaning Megaton Man, of course. Now thrill to Border Worlds. Don Simpson's new science fiction tale. Publish it bi-monthly at $1.95. Simpson, a comparatively new artist in the field, garners more praise and followers with each effort. There's a reason for this. Discover Border Worlds and Megaton Man. I don't know. Doesn't that sound like a backhanded compliment? I don't know. So anyway, very sad. I love this series. It kind of comes to a good conclusion, and I guess I'm mourning the loss of a canceled series from over 30 years ago, which is, I don't know, hilarious in itself. But the good news is that Megaton Man does go on in further incarnations, like the Return of Megaton Man. There's some one-shots. There's Don Simpson's Bizarre Heroes, and I'm covering Border Worlds. So, I mean, there's tons of stuff out there, and Megaton Man is coming back. I'm pushing for that. I have another great idea that I'll save for later as we flip through this, because we got to start flipping through this. Look at this great splash page. I love it. I don't know if this was done, if he knew the series was being canceled when he did this issue. It does feel a lot like an ending. Cosmic Cube has just been swallowed by Megaton Man, and they're kind of waiting to see what happens. It's we have the Partiers from Mars, the Jimmy Olsen, Yardman has returned, Rambo is with us, the cute little cartoon characters, and frickin' A, look at this gorgeous double page spread from Don Simpson. It is no question when I look at a page like this and that Eric Larson and Don Simpson, have collaborated before. Obviously, they have much respect for each other and have worked together. And I feel like they have a lot of the same sensibilities as far as telling, because they inject a lot of humor, they inject a lot of action and over the top, and just the power of this 2-page spread is just insane. I love it so much. And then this, come on, these, hand lettered I mean, it is amazing. I did notice that the lettering seems a lot larger this time, and I'm wondering if you slipped on your Ames guide or what happened there, Don. But I would also like to point out, because the lettering also takes an interesting turn in the story. But so the cosmic hue has been swallowed, and I love. Oh my gosh, this is like one of the nuggets of Don Simpson's writing. Is always the commentary from the crowd. We'll simply have to wait for the cue ball to wear off or for Megaton Man to explode, whichever comes first. Hilarious. So he's like hulking out. He's full of this extra energy. He's getting bigger and more disproportioned than before. And it's so weird because Megaton Man to me is the most fleshed out in this final issue. Like, he finally becomes a real character instead of just like an avatar or a doppelganger for me. Like, he hints at his secret origin. He's battling. This is an insane battle here. This is like so noteworthy. Like, I don't understand why people, like, how this book isn't like, okay, so the omnibus is coming out, and you guys need to get that omnibus, because look at this fight scene. It's freaking insane. I love it. Like, he's just literally tearing apart this city, just like ripping this building in half. Like, this is like the authority before the authority was the authority. I mean, even though it's done in a comic way in some senses, it is so like over the top, grandiose, cinematic. And this is how my mind works. Okay, so Orson Welles is the president in this Megaton Man reality. And we get this great shot of Orson Welles here, or the president, I forgot his name, whatever, who cares. And my first thought, because this is how my brain works, I was like, oh my God, did this panel inspire Bill Sienkiewicz to do his version of the Kingpin? I mean, you know, because I feel like a lot of people were ripping off Don Simpson, you know. I just blocked someone on Facebook for saying that Don was a hack and like bitter. And I feel like he's not bitter, but he's been screwed in a lot of ways. You know what I mean? Like, Alan Moore totally ripped off that scene from Megaton Man, even like admitting it to Don Simpson's face. So I think there was a lot of genius and brilliance in what Don Simpson does. And as I predict, 2023 is the year of Don Simpson. We have the 1963 annual coming out. We have the Megaton Man omnibus, and we have promised new Megaton Man stories, which I would totally love. And I just feel like, you know, Don is getting a lot of attention, and I think that people are, like me, are discovering, you know, I've always been a fan and always realized his genius, and I just think it's work that deserves a second look and closer scrutiny, because there is so much in it. And I love this so much. I am Mars, god of war. Now that's kind of interesting, because Earth is my kind of planet. This is the kind of funny dialogue that you're getting from Don Simpson. And I would like to point out that my favorite thing about the design of this Mars character is the epic body hair. Like, I don't think I've ever quite seen body hair drawn in this fashion before, and it is next level. I mean, this is, can you just look at this? I mean, you have no choice if you're watching, but, I mean, you could close your eyes, but, and then Mars, like, I mean, just funny little dialogues like this that cracks me up. So Mars is, like, made this deal for Megaton Man to fight his villain, and if Megaton Man wins, Mars will spare Earth. And so he's like, give me something hard. Behold, I grant bad guy the power required, a parlor trick unworthy of my talents. That's so funny. Like, it just speaks to the, you know, Don Simpson just knows how to, like, nail every, like, proper, like, personality, and just, like, totally speaks to the ego of the gods in such a humorous way. And then Megaton Man just gets embroiled in the fight, and he's like, hey, I don't want the Earth to end, so I'm willing to throw the fight. And this is kind of funny, too, because I feel like, you know, like, it's subtle, the parody, because it's like, there's always there's obvious parody, but underneath the obvious parody, there's this subtle parody going on, like how superheroes just ramble and fights and don't even listen, and just, you know, stuff like that. It's just fun. And I was sad that this is like the end. I was like, I feel, I've been doing this weekly, which I kind of love because it's like, it's too fast paced a world to have done it. It's like binging on Netflix. Like, I'm glad I didn't read it all in one day. But I'm glad I didn't have to wait monthly to do it either. Look at this frickin' another gorgeous double page spread. That is just amazing here, him picking up the building. Another like tried and true sort of comic book cliche defying the laws of physics. And look at this. The film output is off on here. There's like a double thing happening, just so you know. Where quality counts. Anyway. I mean, look at that. How freaking baller is that? Gotcha, you little booger. And that's the other thing that I love about it, too, is that Don Simpson is not so precious with his art that he spends the time to do this totally gag-worthy splash page, and then he'll put, like, the most ridiculous dialogue over it. Gotcha, you little booger. I mean, it's just so silly. I mean, how can you not appreciate that? And as he throws the building at him and, like, nothing. It also speaks to the fact, like, how destructive, like, superheroes are. Like, when they're, I mean, you talk about the greater good, right? What is the greater good here? It's like, get off the planet. Like, when will superheroes ever learn? Take it off planet, fellas. Look at all that knuckle hair. And even hair, like, all the way up to that part. And Rambo looking kind of sexy there. I can't lie. So then, of course, in typical God fashion, just comes and creates havoc and chaos and farewell mortals and pieces out just like that. And here we are. And then, so we don't get to know the secret origin. Now I'm dying to know the secret origin. And I don't know if it's been revealed over Bizarre Heroes, Megaton Man Returned or something. Perhaps it will be. I mean, I guess I'll find out eventually. Having a little bit of a trouble, like, tracking down a lot of Bizarre Heroes. So, in the gap, like I said, we're almost to the last page and, like, I'm not ready. So, I have, like, Yarn Man, and I have a really fun, actually, big surprise for next week. It's something completely unexpected, something Megaton Man related, true gem, and I cannot wait to share it with you guys. So be here for that when you subscribe and like and share everything. And this is Megaton Man's, like, meltdown in his most, like, human moment. And this is what I'm saying. Like, if this was not always planned, if this is just Don ending it because he has to, because it's being canceled, wow. Like, it's brilliant and impactful. This is a very emotional page. Him sort of coming to terms with his reason for becoming Megaton Man, even though, once again, we do not get the secret origin, and then just having this moment. Very, very, very powerful, Don. And I love that he even takes the opportunity to satire himself with Border Worlds and have it called Boredom Worlds and have them yawning. And then that's it. I mean, that is the end of Megaton Man, the first 10 series. Why was this not, like, a huge hit? What happened? I would have liked to have seen it gone on. But it did, and it continues. So once again, mourning something that didn't stay dead. Like, that would be like being sad that Phoenix died. You know what I mean? Do I need to say anything else? Look at this fucking gorgeous art. It is so beautiful. And really I can't wait to read this, go through the Border World series, now that I'm, like, less bitter about it. Even though I love the art, it's so gorgeous. It's pretty amazing, huh? With your double page spreads. Dandy Don. I mean, come on. I mean, if this is not the 80s right here, I don't know what is. Border Worlds, coming soon from MichaelFitzTroytv. Megaton Man, number 10. Number 2. Anyway, so there was something, so this is hysterical. I have to share this with you. There's 2 combined letters from TM Maple, who clearly was like a genius and, you know, a very famous letter writer. I encourage you to write letters to comic books. Write them to Ant and Savage Dragon. Eric Larson runs the best letters columns going. I hope if Don continues with Megaton Man, he revives letters page. I don't know. Which reminds me, the other thing I was going to say is that now that I picked up reading Savage Dragon again, my first time reading like Malcolm Dragon on a regular basis, I thought, why on God's green earth would Don and Eric not take the opportunity to have a Megaton Man team up with Malcolm Dragon instead of, you know, because he already teamed up with regular Savage Dragon. How amazing would that be? They both work, you know, traditionally pen and ink. You could have Don Simpson draw the whole thing and have Eric Larson fill in the Malcolm Dragon pages, and then you have the gorgeous hand lettering by Don Simpson. It's a win-win situation all around. It would celebrate the anniversaries of all of them. It would give audiences a chance to see Malcolm Dragon interact with Megaton Man, which I would love to see the dynamic between those two, because obviously the personalities between Malcolm Dragon and OG Dragon are very different. So I'm just saying, you know, I always throw out my fantasy projects, and that one seems very possible, so I vote for that. What do you say, Dandy? So anyway, trademarked Maple. Note, the following missive is actually a combination of 2 letters from the irrepressible TM Maple, Canada's national hero. We hope TM doesn't mind this truncated version cut together like Frankenstein's monster. On the other hand, what do we care what he thinks? Let him sue. This title is going out of biz. What's he writing all these letters for anyway? Is he going to put them in a book? If he does, he'd better remember this note is copyright 1986. And I just want to say, because I want to read this real quick, okay? Bear with me. Or turn it off. I don't give a shit. Just hit like and subscribe before you do that. Boy, you people are really asking for it, aren't you? The Wolverine, indeed. Do you think a certain company... Okay, so he's going on about the Wolverine parody. But who cares? Nobody's suing anybody anymore for crap like that, are they? I mean, and what they have at the time, I don't even think they would have sent a cease and desist. But anyway, it was... okay, so somehow it seemed that Megaton Man was trying to compensate for your incredible shrinking comic series. I felt a little bit of that too. Like, I felt like Megaton Man suffered a little bit for Border World's inclusion, and he said that it felt misplaced in there, somewhat misplaced as a backup feature, and I kind of agree. That said, who knows? Coulda, shoulda, woulda. I don't know if that affected the run, outcome, whatever, anything. I don't know how Border Worlds sold or was perceived, but it looks amazing, and I cannot wait to share that with you. That's a wrap, kids. The first 10 issues of Megaton Man. I mean, come on. If my coverage of this doesn't make you want to get that omnibus, I suggest you, I don't know if it's probably not available for pre-order yet, but I will let you know, MFers, when you need to save that copy, because that is one you're not going to want to sleep on, trust me. And it's going to be pretty rare, I mean, right? Okay, so that's it. Megaton Man Mondays. Be here next week for my special surprise Megaton Man. Something completely different. Okay, that's my teaser. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. Subscribe to my channel if you have not already. Hit that like button, and I'll bring you more later.